Hello everyone! We are now live with the Guild Wars 2 Raid League for this second round of the Spring Split. As you can see, we are exactly on time. Here, we're never teapot late. And today with me I have two awesome people ready to tackle the casting of the two encounters that we will be looking at today. Sabir and Mursaat Overseer will be analyzed and completely deleted by both Muru and Isa here with me. If you guys would rise up and let the people hear your voice.
I'm here.
Oh my god.
I'll be joining halfway through for Mo, whereas Isa will be probably taking Sabir off my hands.
Yep, I'm here as well. I've got Sabir, and I will be passing things off to Muru a little bit later for the most interesting boss in the game.
Most interesting, he says, but also known as the biggest punching bag that was ever released. Anyways, as it was said, we're gonna start off with none other than Cardinal Sabir, the, well, first or second encounter, depends what you like, in Wing 7. Without further ado, I would like you, my boy Muru, to, tell a few words, about this encounter before we get right into the POVs.
So Sabir, as a fight, is one of the first two encounters that you get after clearing the gate part in Wing 7. It's the only wing where you actually get to choose which boss to start out with. It's got kind of three main phases and two split phases. You get to DPS him down to 80%, then you have to jump on some platforms and kill some wisps or find a way to portal through those platforms. And then go back to the boss, go from 80 to 60, do the little mini game again with the wisps, and then 60 to 0. There's a few mechanics throughout the fight that we can explain as we go along and explain how people manage to deal with those mechanics in unique and interesting ways.
Alright, and then without further ado, I guess I'm gonna be showing who we start with on this month's Raid League. It is none other than Relax and Ignore DPS. With a time of 4 minutes and 14 seconds, they rank 18th on the entirety of our submissions. Congratulations to them. The first things I would like to point out is that us already having a POV means that most people were actually in silver or above, which is very impressive. The second thing that comes to mind, well, to my eyes as well, is the fact that the purple class has been reduced to just 2. And this is tasteful. You can see a guild that has taste based on the amount of purple they decide to leave behind. I like this. So
yeah, so for those who don't know, the big change with Chrono that kind of stopped the stacking was the Time Warp change. It nerfed its damage a little bit, but it's still a really strong power damage class. But Time Warp only lasts 5 seconds now, giving you only roughly 6 seconds of quickness and slow up time on the boss. So stacking Chronos either takes a ton of coordination now with counting down your continuum splits, or it's just not really worth it. So you might not see a lot of that going forward in raiding, which is kind of refreshing for all of us.
Well, that is a pretty good explanation, if any, and for sure I am happy to see that we forewent the purple class. I guess we should actually have a look at that POV and see just what was the bronze submission this time around. Then again, we need people to remember that even though this is the bronze tier of the Raid League, this is already miles ahead of anything you would see in a pug group or a casual weekly clear. So, don't forget to clap for all the teams you will be seeing today, starting with Relax and Ignore DPS. Jesus, we got a raid from Mel. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Isa, but we need, first and foremost, to say thank you to the Hardstack community heralded by none other than the most Italian of streamers, Mela, taking care of an awesome raid just now, near 400 people dropping in onto us. Thank you so much, Mr. Apple. Did we just see someone dropping down right there?
Yes. So what you'll actually see in that first phase, I'm gonna bring up the break bar. There's two different break bars here. One that a lot of people call the fast break bar, and some people call the slow break bar, or a coordinated and a spam break bar. The one that they got there is the one where you just spam your CCs, and it's slowly knocking you back. The other one we'll see a bit later on. And at the end, are you talking about the guy that dropped off at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the end, there's a little updraft there. It doesn't appear in CM, so don't try to do this in your CM groups. You'll fall to your death. But there's a little updraft, and if you're quick enough, you can take that updraft up to the next platform, which is slightly quicker than waiting for the little jump pad to show up to propel you to the next one.
Alright, I mean, that is pretty awesome to see. And there are two things I would like to point out right there, under, of course, your most keen eyes, you know, to contradict me if I go wrong, but we saw a portal during the mini game of jumping around that you were talking about just then. That is pretty good. I guess it is quite worthy of a time skip right there. And the second thing is, as we can see right now on the screen, the boss turns onto itself with two concentric waves being pushed out. If you actually stand into that wave, you will drop to the ground. You know, it is a one shot that will leave you in down state. However, the Tempest right there has been using Rebound in order to prevent the team from going down with that skill. That is also a very good use of class specificities.
Yep. So you'll actually, the portals are a very, very good way to save some time, especially on these split phases, because you kind of waste a lot of time just moving, not actually attacking something. So as you saw in the first split phase, there was Mesmers dropping portals to prepare them for the second one, to speed up the second split phase, which we just saw them use. The shockwave thing I was going to point out as well, that rebound is great. Now we're getting into one of the more interesting mechanics in the game, I think, with the big tornado swirling around. If you walk into that tornado, you are instantly dead. There is no downstate. There is no way to recover from it. You just die. So you have to constantly be moving clockwise around the boss to avoid it, while avoiding all the other mechanics.
And as we saw just now, if you don't have Rebound available to get rid of these concentric waves, your only way to survive them is to actually go up by touching some of these smaller air currents.
Yeah. So you can touch those smaller ones to shoot up. Another thing that you might see a little bit later on is that special action key that works as a little teleport or a blink as well as a CC skill. Can be used. You can actually back up a little bit and just jump over the shockwave. There's certain classes that can do this on their own as well. The Mesmers might be backing up and using the secondary part of Sword 3 to jump over, while that one has a little bit of risk involved, because if your clone happens to be standing in the red tornado when you jump past that wave, it'll put you right into that red tornado and kill you. And the downside to using the special action is you lose it for CC, as well as there's a stacking damage buff that you get while you have that up, while you have that special action up. So a lot of times you want to save it, which is why they've been using Rebound, I'm assuming.
Alright, well, that is the most astute analysis.
It's a pretty good kill.
Yeah,
like you said at the beginning. I think it was, 414?
414, yeah, definitely great.
Much stronger than you'll see a lot of pug groups and statics get. One thing I want to point out about Primordius too, after you introduce them, since we're not watching their POV.
Yeah, just before that, I actually wanted to ask you a question, Eliza. Would you believe that using the right of the Great Wealth would be a viable alternative to Rebound on the Tempest in order to reduce the damage you take from both, you know, the concentric wave mechanic as well as the one where you need to go into the safe spots on the edges of the arena?
Theoretically, it would help. I actually don't know if that mechanic does damage or just downs you, and the rebound avoids that. However, if you do want to use Red of the Great Dwarf, it might work. The downside is then you've got a Renegade who has the Dwarf Legend on the entire fight, which is not ideal for the rest of the fight, so it might not be worth the trade-off.
I was just curious. So anyways, now it is time to go talk about Primordus goes Rah! As always, I am giving my best impersonation of Primordus. We saw it, you know, getting a little bit manhandled, or should I say dragon-handled, by Jormag in the latest story patch of the Iceberg Saga. And, you know, we won't be able to see any good content coming from the dragon itself, but the guild, donning its name, has been going around in the Raiding League for quite a while, and we hope to see some very good submissions from them going onwards. So yeah, now you may talk about this.
Yeah, on their submission this time, it's I wish we could watch it. I wish we had the time to do that. There is one unique thing that I read in their description. Their Tempests actually brought the skill Frostbow, Conjure Frostbow or Icebow, which is something that any of the old school dungeon runners remember as being one of the strongest skills, and it got heavily nerfed and removed. But it's refreshing to see that come back into the game. They're using it for CC mostly, it looks like, from their description. And it's nice to find a unique use for a skill that has been mostly thrown out by the community.
Okay. Well, you know, Conjure Frostbow even got its own song by Zach from Suck at Love, for the people who remember it. You know, Eyes Before I'm Gonna Miss You, right? Like, I cried a lot. You know, I shed a tear. I shed a tear right there. I must say it.
Suck at Love. Yeah, they've got beautiful music.
Yeah, and like, for sure, the Icebow song, I remember the day we went back to Lightning Hammer was kind of special. Because for the people not remembering it, like, the whole Icebow versus Lightning Hammer was an entire discussion among the dungeon players of the past, because there was the Scepter Focus Elementalist build that allowed you to supply might to the entirety of your team prior to Phalanx Warrior becoming a thing. But I digress, let us not go on a tangent. And you said Luke at rank number 16. Who is actually, that's the tie! Oh my god, I've been bamboozled. Yo, I'm just saying, yeah, number 16, very easy peasy. But it's actually number 15 ex aequo. Congratulations to tried and tested Strategies TTS. That reminds me of the Tequatl something squad that was also TTS back in the days. Back in the days where actually the Tequatl rework warranted people, you know, partying up and being good at it. But yeah, what do you have to say about this? Aside from the fact that, you know, I remind all of you guys, because we're all very inclusive here at the Raid League, this month, the month of June, is Pride Month, and here we have the rainbow! You know, the rainbow flag right there, lads. We're donning it, we're good, let's go.
Look, there's a class here that has been memed on for a long time, and it's Scourge. People have not acknowledged the strength of Scourge for a long time. I don't like playing it. I've never really thought it was a fun class to play, but Scourge is here, and unless it gets nerfed in the next few months, it will not be leaving anytime soon. It is strong. It provides a lot of utility, and I'm kind of happy to see something new come in. They did a great job here with a new class to the mix. Also, you have the first, I think this might have been the first one that shows up the Mirage Alacrity, the new build that is a little bit controversial in the speed clearing scene.
El Famoso build that has 45k damage, or?
Yeah, it can even be a little bit more than that.
I see some people got the small PP and kind of need to take out the big gun class to carry. Huh.
Listen, we may have... Huh. Chrono Stack might be gone, but there might be a new Purple King in town.
But yeah, either way, you know, we move onwards and talk about the other 15th ex aequo with another timer of 4-5. Who could have guessed it? It is none other than Pragmatic Raiding, who have also been there with us for a very long time. They also are sporting almost the pride flag. You know, they're missing just a little bit of colorful goodness right there. But the double Scourge, you know, Isa, you were saying Blood Scourge very strong, you know, you can res, you can do massive damage, etc. Mighty Teapot even made a video about it, which just goes to show you how busted it is and how easy of access it is as well. Do you want to elaborate a little more on that Scourge build, or shall we move on to the incredible goodness that will be rank 14?
I think there's something to acknowledge here that we haven't noticed, and it's the fact that there's no druid.
I just realized this, and also it's no Chronos, it's double Mirage.
Uh-huh.
My eyes deceived me. Isaac,
their Mirages probably took portals. The Herald, if you open up the log, is actually their primary source of might and healing. That Soul Beast is a Condi Soul Beast. I have little doubts that they were bringing a spirit, probably Sun Spirit, to the encounter. They brought Firebrands for quickness, which is a little bit higher DPS than the STM Power Chrono now, after the Power Chrono nerfs.
For real?
Yes, but if you look at the log,
wow,
the builds that are shining are the Renegade and the Scourge, and that might be a reoccurring theme.
It's time for me
raids
to actually,
going forward.
It's probably going to be time for me to actually, change main class, go back to Necro. It's like that whole back to monkey meme. At some point, you need to return to ape. And
even without blood magic, Necro just brings so much to the table with losing nothing. I mean, you've got pretty strong CC. You can take a little bit of a DPS hit and bring a Flesh Golem instead of Plague Lands. Most Scourges nowadays are bringing a Warhorn as the weapon swap because it really only needs one weapon swap or weapon set. You've got Barrier. You've got an Insta-Res with the Signet.
The Barrier is so strong, actually. Like
it's a really strong class.
Like, people don't actually remember it because it was only introduced with Path of Fire. Like, a lot of people forget about it. But the first time we actually saw Barrier was when doing the story mission at the start of Path of Fire. And the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is the second health bar that doesn't go down? I'm fighting a warrior, not a necro. Can you imagine the power of a necro that already has 2 health bars, and then on top of that you just spam in the barrier? That's massive.
I would argue now that Scourge, I think, is the strongest class in the game overall. I think it is the most overpowered.
Yeah,
that's not saying that it has the highest DPS. It just brings the most with it.
It's got everything it needs to actually stand at the top. It's durable, it's strong, it's got utility. There is no reason not to use one. But I digress, and we should move on. However, it has been said in the chat by none other than, I need to actually put my glasses on closer, Kira likes you, and so do I. I like Kira. Bringing in a Poison Cloud,
Ooh,
which actually makes sense, because we forgot to talk about that when looking at the previous video, but there are some little air elementals throwing beams at you, like little energy clouds, and if you get hit by these, you get immobilized, which can be a big issue if you're right next to the one-shot tornado. So yeah, Poison Cloud.
Yes,
kind of good.
That's a smart. Smart way to avoid that mechanic. A lot of pug groups will just have their Renegade go heal Ren or full Alack Ren and bring the Centaur Legend and keep the bubble up as long as they can, or they'll have Purple Class bringing feedback or something. So CPC is a great way to get around that mechanic with the tools that you had in front of you.
Definitely so. Yet, we need to move on, Isa. Time is of the essence. And as we go onwards, we talk about rank 14. Hirvio por nuestros pecados, Flying Spaghetti Monster. With a time of 4 minutes and 2 seconds, they brought in 3 Renegades. A Boon Tempest, actually, kinda cool. A Soul Beast, because you do need a little bit of green in your life, otherwise Noxy Green Rose will actually, appear in your shadow and murder you. Just kidding. I hope Noxy's not watching, to be fair. And they brought a single Chrono, probably bringing in, the Quickness Firebrand, correct me if I'm wrong, to cover for the rest. Holo, good DPS, good CC as well, and a Power Berserker for banners. And the Light Fields, of course. Light Fields. But,
and the Berserker, when you look at the log, has double mace on their offhand set, which is really strong CC.
CC, yeah. I mean,
because the Tempest, I'm not 100%. I don't know a ton about Tempest, but I know that it doesn't do as much CC as Druid.
It's got access
so
to
opting
GCC,
for the,
but it's like on very very shit attunements that you don't necessarily want to go into all the time. You have a little bit of CC on Air 4. I believe that Water. Is it Water 4 or Water 5? I have a doubt. I think it's Water 5 that actually has CC as well. And technically, if you manage to land like an immobilize or a blind, that's also a little bit of soft CC that can like play a role into this.
Taking the druid out. Taking the druid out, going with the Tempest, you gain rebound. Tempest is more pure healing as well, but you lose a lot of CC, so you've got to make up for that in other areas. And Soul Beast doesn't really allow for a ton of CC either. Combi Soul Beast especially, there's not a lot in its kit.
Yeah, you need to merge with the Warthog, I think, if you want to bring in a little bit of CC as a Combi Soul Beast, and that's kind of sucky, like, gotta be very honest, it's kind of sucky. Let's move onwards to number 13, Quitical Fail. But there were no failure today, as they brought the timer below the 4 minutes mark. With 4 Holy Smith, they managed to get quite a good placement. Double Renegade, double Chrono, a Druid. If anything, I would say that this is a very classic team comp. That's something I would have expected to see prior to the whole balance patch. But you probably have a little bit more to say about this than I do, Isa.
Yeah, I think if we go back to the old Sabir Raid League kill, you probably would have seen a few comps exactly like this. More common might have been taking a third Chrono rather than the second Renegade and just going a full Alakren. But this is a pretty standard comp. Hollows are very high DPS, high CC. That's brought in with their kit. You can also have AED on the Hollow to ignore the Shockwave on a pretty short cooldown. So it's it can have higher DPS uptime on the boss, which is a very important thing with faster kills. Chronos, some form of purple will probably always be in the comp simply because the portals are too strong on this boss. There's whether it's Mirage or Chrono, you're not going to avoid having probably
one to run
two
ahead,
of them.
and you like for
Exactly,
the people who haven't really watched the encounter. There is this whole jumping minigame that you do in between the phases of the boss, and there's like one specific portion of that jumping game where you don't need to kill anything. You just need to cross a big platform with 3 deadly tornadoes and 1 like air current that's gonna bounce you up. If you have someone do that part, you gain so much time. That's exactly.
It's a lot. It's like depending how fast you can be, it can save you 10 seconds or so.
Per phase.
It's a big deal. Yeah, per phase. So 20 seconds over the course of the entire
And
fight.
also, it's a fail safe because some people, despite the game having been out for nearly 9 years, still cannot jump. I'm looking at Goku from Snow Cross for the people who know the meme, but like younger people
Jumping in MMOs cancels your skills in all the other MMOs. It's not something we've practiced a lot.
In Game of Thrones, you can keep jumping. It's good. Like you can Ranger Pew Pew and jump. It's perfect. It's perfect game design. Anyways, we move onwards to place number 12. Fail, Learn, Improve, Succeed, FLIS has succeeded in getting a timer of sub 4 minutes as well. With 3 minutes and 54 seconds, they're barely 4 seconds faster than the number 13, and they brought in 3 hollows. It's 1 less hollow that got them an extra 4 seconds on the timer. Kind of crazy, like people in the chat saying orange is the new purple. I would actually say that probably red is the new purple, because between Renegade and Tempest, we got the good raid classes, except we don't see any of these in this log. So I would assume that they relied heavily on the Scourge to provide a lot of barrier and survive the more dangerous parts, which lets me believe that it might not be a one-shot, but actually like a 100% of your life damage. Isa. I mean,
yeah, the shockwave will down you through barrier, but you can.
That's fine.
When you get done CCing, there's I always call it the bomb mechanic because it's pretty consistent. It's on multiple different bosses where you get a circle around you, and it explodes and it does more damage to other people that are in your circle than it does to you. With barrier, you can actually stack people on top of each other, and not have to spread out as much. You can have more people attacking the boss, as well as you get more stacks to get your special action key, and every stack gives you a DPS buff against the boss. So it's something that that subgroup might have been able to take advantage of. Really, you can only have, I think, 2 people stacked even with barrier. Maybe a third can squeeze in if you have 100% health, but it might be too risky. The Mirage is... The Mirages are really strong on this fight too. I think that's something, especially with the most recent patch, adding Alacrity to Staff Mirage. It might be a pretty common thing to see in Sabir kills going forward.
Okay. I'm kind of assuming that Mirage is strong, especially on this boss, because of the like the very little to no downtime between the usage of skill by the boss. There is not much movement and phases of the boss doing nothing. No, the boss is always very active on this encounter, which makes classes like Mirage stand out quite a bit. And I guess Conde Renegade also, pops off there.
Well, so they also changed the way Torment works. And the way Torment used to work is it had a base damage which increased as targets were moving. Well, they changed it to where it increased as targets are not moving. And I believe the only raid boss that is counted as always moving is Adina. So in a boss like Sabir, that boss is never moving. So Torment actually does a lot of damage to Sabir. Same thing with like Kadim the Peerless, another Wing 7 boss. Because the boss never actually runs around, and even if they're spinning, they're not counted as moving.
Okay. Well, I guess it's time for us to move onwards, Isa. Like, time is of the essence, as I said earlier. We're already 38 minutes into the stream, and we need to move onwards. At the 11th position, we have Legendary inside. That's me every morning when I drink the coffee, because coffee is legendary. They got a whole 18 seconds on the other teams. That's kind of massive, NGL. 18 seconds at this point in the Raid League is big. It is huge. They bring in 2 of the purple class. Foregoing, the Mirage, which is obviously stronger to go for the crown now. They have 4 of the red class, the red classes, I should say, which is why red is the new purple. And they brought in 2 hollows, actually. I mean, I like this comp. I'm kind of into this NGL. This is looking good. Isa, would you have anything to add to this, apart from the fact that they performed quite well?
I would say the one thing the 2 things that are kind of unique about them is they relied on the Mirages not only for Alacrity but for Might. Instead, their Druid was focusing on healing exclusively, which leads me to believe that their Druid took the Lingering Light trait, not Grace of the Land. And they also elected to kill one of the Wisps and send someone out to kill one of the Wisps under 40% to alleviate some pressure towards the end and some of that immobilized pressure and damage pressure.
I'm not sure this was the best call. Like, they should actually probably have gone with like a DPS Soul Beast, bringing Spirit, and putting one of the Renegade on bubble duty, shouldn't they? What do you think?
They could do that, but I think the Renegade probably did a lot. Renegades probably did a decent amount of damage. I actually don't. I'm pulling up their log now, and the Renegade is going to be pretty strong in this fight, in general. So it might have been I'm sure they tried multiple things, and this might have just been the best thing that worked out for them. The nice thing about Druid as well is you do have Nature Spirit if things go wrong, and you can bring multiple spirits as well. Whereas a Soul Beast, if you're bringing more than one on most Soul Beast builds, you're really hurting the Soul Beast.
All right. I guess this is the best analysis we could have, and this also means that we get to move onwards to the 10th position. It is none other than Caudecus Ministry, CM, getting an awesome time of 3 minutes and 34 seconds, barely 2 seconds faster, and setting the bar to where the 10th, like the top 10, is going to be. They have double Berserkers, and I will need your analysis on that part, Isa. They brought 2 Chronos and 2 Mirages, deciding not to have the latter, take on the role of the former. And 2 Holosmiths for DPS. This looks like quite a weird comp, to be fair. Like it feels like they could have done this differently, and I'm not sure why they decided to go for double the Berserker, double the purple class. Isa, if you would.
So, the Berserkers are actually providing a buff called Empower Allies. I believe they spread it out. Each Berserker was in each sub, so they had a nice little DPS increase according to their description here, as well as it looks like one of the hollows may have brought Pinpoint,
That's big.
Which also is a DPS increase for some of the Condi classes. They're trying to optimize things with their comp and use some of the buffs available to them, which is pretty nice. It's
Probably
unique.
a lot of thinking going into this. Me likey. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, see, that's why casters are important, because I look at the team comps and I'm like, okay, I see double as if I were drunk, but the proper explanations allow me to understand the intricate choices that went behind the team compositions. Moving onwards to place number 9, we have Kuantifai, known as the better and definitely not bootleg QT, sporting their tag KT. 5 seconds faster than the rank number 10, they brought in the triple hollow, double firebrand, single chrono, 1 berserker, 1 druid, 2 renegade comp. What I could surmise from looking at all of this is that the firebrands, one of them brought some quickness, for one of the subgroups. The hollows probably had pinpoint to boost everybody, and the renegades were doing renegade stuff, which is damage. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
So it actually looks like the chrono is solo quickness.
Oh,
when you look at the
I was
log.
wrong then. Damn.
Yeah, the firebrands are purely for DPS, and it looks like one of them may have brought Sanctuary to help with CC, as well as to help with projectiles in the last phase.
Okay.
So that's, and firebrand is good DPS. It's not like you're hurting your group by taking a firebrand. It's actually pretty strong damage, so it's not a problem to bring that as a DPS class if you've got quality firebrands.
I'm actually surprised. Like they brought in the firebrand without the quickness. Okay.
It also looks like they aren't going 2 Condi renegades. They have 1 Condi and 1 full alacrity renegade, so they allowed the Condi ren to really spread their wings.
Yeah,
and do all their damage.
I think.
No name KT also mentioned in chat, and I was getting to this. They used ogre runes instead of scholar runes on a lot of their DPS classes, because they said in their description that it was lower peak DPS but a lot more consistency. Which the meme about ogre runes is, if you were to pull up one of their POVs at some point in your free time, you'll see a bunch of little rock dogs running around, because it summons a rock dog. So they had a bunch of little minions.
Yeah. Can the rock dogs actually participate in the CC is the question I would have.
I don't know.
I don't know what
if...
skills they have.
I know that the rock dog NPC has a CC skill.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's no way to control it like it's a druid pet, so it's kind of it's not something you can rely on.
So be it. Luck as it goes. But like that's kind of cool, to be fair. That's very interesting. And as we said, yeah, like having that CC is very important, because the special action key isn't necessarily sufficient, especially if not everyone is perfectly coordinated. However, looking at the logs of the team number 8, we see something extremely well coordinated, and this was not planned at all, because it's actually Kormir from the Crossroads Inn, which is a team that I always shout out for a very specific reason, and this reason will be known to you in just a few seconds. If you are wanting to learn how to raid on the EU servers, there is only one place you can go to, and that is the Crossroads Inn. They will be teaching you all the wonders there are to know about the incredible world of raiding. But that is what I would say if there weren't some other places you can learn from. The Crossroads Inn is simply the most established of them. There are other places where you can do all of that, such as this stream from one of our sponsors, Zexi, from, well, actually, the Zexi Guild. I should actually say Campfase from the Zexi Guild. We'll talk about that a little bit later as we thank all the sponsors. But nonetheless, want to learn about raiding? Go to Crossroads Inn. They did not learn about the balance patch. I can see 4 purple classes. They probably haven't read the patch notes. What do you have to say, Isaac?
So I didn't get the chance to watch one of their POVs, but I'd assume these chronos allow them to have more portals in these split phases and skip some more of the downtime there, which helped with their kill time as well. Power Chrono is still a solid DPS class. The synergy of Power Chrono and Condi Ren is something that still exists, because Condi Ren provides slow up time, which provides crit chance for the power chrono. So having Condirens and power chronos in the same comp is something that is very beneficial for all parties involved. Their quickness looks like it came from 2 of the chronos primarily. Actually, it looks like it came from 1 of the chronos primarily. They had a 10-man with 1 of them also bringing a time warp, just looking at the distribution. And the alacrity came from basically 2 of the renegades, with the 3rd one being free to just DPS as much as they want. So they're trying to spread out the responsibilities amongst multiple parties, so not one person gets really kind of screwed over in damage, it looks like.
Well, that is most welcome, I would assume, because not anyone wants to be screwed over when it comes to the boons they're getting and the way they can perform in a raid setting. Once again, want to learn how to be as good as the number 8 on the leaderboard? Head over to the Crossroads Inn. A link should be in the description of this stream, if I haven't cleaned up my descriptions. Big sweat and a big stress. Anyways, we move on to position number 7, and that is none other than lonely raiders in your area, as always holding that little Patsu fiercely. They got a time of 3 minutes and 26 seconds, bringing us a most interesting split of classes. I was not expecting to see a double Tempest, and I assume it's because, correct me if I'm wrong, Isa, as you would, of course, correct me if I were, that is because they got fast enough that a single Tempest could not cast the rebound, and they needed another one. Am I wrong? Or am I correct?
That's likely part of it. The other thing is their DPS Tempest actually pulled some pretty good
DPS?
numbers.
Woo.
Yeah, they had 1 heal Tempest as their only healer, and 1 DPS looks like a power Tempest. Actually pulled some pretty solid numbers. So it's not like they weren't helping out the group outside of their rebound. But this is other than the Firebrands, it's an all power comp.
Okay.
I don't know if the warrior was bringing EA to help with that. It looks like they were not. And they had the 1 Alacren to bring AP to help out. The interesting thing, no spirits. So they were confident enough that they could have a fast kill without the damage increase from having a Frost Spirit around. Or a Sun Spirit for those Firebrands.
Yeah, that's actually very impressive. I mean, I might actually dust off my my Tempest for this kind of memes. Me like it. And I mean, I did see that Tempest was kind of, making a comeback with some very good logs. I wasn't expecting to see it just yet in the Raid League. As always, Raid League is the place where we're already 10 steps ahead of the meta. The meta is being played in 2 dimensions in Girls 2, but our raiders submitting their awesome kills are playing in 5D. Yes, we're skipping a whole 3 dimensions. Moving onwards to position number 6, which skipped 12 positions to get to where they are, we have Grenth Theft Auto, which is probably one of the best names we have in the Raid League. I always say that. They got 4 seconds ahead of the previous log, and that is a full holo log. And these guys, they decided to spin not just the fidget spinner, but the entirety of the boss. He spins over itself, and this certainly gave it a ride.
The whole platform spinning. Because of this comp.
Please don't burn me. No, just kidding.
Because of this comp, the whole platform spinning in circles.
Okay, let's take that. Alright, so we have, as I said, 5 holos. Actually, most of the POVs are from their holos. That's pretty dope. I have only one question that you might be able to answer, Isa. Shouldn't there be, isn't there a risk for there to be a slight lack of quickness? Because you did say that Chrono got nerfed on that end, and I don't see anybody else bringing quickness out there.
So, with 10-man quickness, there's generally going to be 1 or 2 people that just get no quickness at all. They're just getting completely left out in the dark. And if you look at the log, I'm just looking at phase 1, everyone's over 90% except for 1 poor holo down at 63% quickness. Okay. That 1 poor guy. Phase 2, it's pretty much the same story. There's someone at 35%. Everyone else is pretty good. And then phase 3, it's a little bit more even. You've got 2 people in the high 70s. Everyone else is over 90. The nice thing about Sword Holo is you can actually use Sword 3 to give yourself some quickness. And you get more quickness the higher amount of heat you have when you use it.
Oh. Well,
So
that's very
it
good for me to
does
learn.
allow for some freedom.
That's
And it-
very big brain.
It looks like they all used Sword 3 pretty regularly. They all generated somewhere between 10 and 20% of their own quickness. Same thing with Warrior. A Power Warrior Axe 4 will actually generate some quickness for themselves as well. So you do have a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay, I mean, I didn't know that. Like, I've only very recently started playing Hollow. Like, the only class I refuse to play is the purple class. It's literally a bank character on my account. But like, I'm definitely gonna try to play the orange class a little bit more. I really like classes that can do, you know, like this whole self-sustaining, like, when it comes to what it can do. But yeah, moving onwards, because onwards we go to victory. We get to place number Oh! Sorry, we get to place number 5. Yeah, I just say the team code. I was like, oh, but Patchwork Gamers, giving us a timer of 3 minutes 21 seconds. Rank number 5. That's you, Isaac. That's you.
So yes, this is us. So this week, you know, a lot of our group was a little turned off by the recent balance patches and stuff, and we also were like, you know, none of us really love Sabir, nor did we really love Mo. So we're like, let's have some fun. Let's do some memes, and you'll see it in the POV. But the Scourges actually brought Scourge Portal to skip every single Wisp platform. I don't think we killed a single Wisp at all. And it was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining. We did this whole thing. We did one night to Sabir, and I think if we actually committed a Scourge stack on this boss, can very easily get below a 310 kill, maybe even a little bit faster.
Wait, no, like a full
fun.
10 necros? You mean? No.
Well, no, not 10. You still need the Chronos and probably Mirages.
Yeah, okay.
It's a fun meme.
This is me. I'm so looking forward to watching that POV. You know what, Isaac?
And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's a Scourge POV too.
Oh boy. Oh, that chat cover kinda dope. It starts at 3 minute 5. I guess you put another huge
he put
introduction.
He put an intro. He put an anime intro in.
Yeah, we can't afford to have that all the time, my man, you know.
It's worth watching though. The
It's
anime
worth
intro is
watching,
worth
yeah.
watching for those who want to look at it later.
Yeah, okay. I need to mute the music on that. It's kind of annoying because like nothing starts in 1080p, so I need to like put it manually in 1080p, and that re-enables the music, which is terrible.
So,
thank you, Evokron, for reminding us.
As you saw there, we all stacked after that. We all stacked with those bombs because we had the barrier from the Scourge, and nobody lost Scholar uptime. I think our Scourges all brought Flesh Golem, which is a huge CC increase. But yeah, here comes the Scourge Portal meme.
Jeez! No,
with some Mesmer portals.
Bro, this is actually bullshit. How is that okay? How is that actually okay?
It's so funny. We also use Scourge Portal to skip the shockwave.
Yeah, like this is kind of crazy.
Although Dragonback apparently a little buyer POV for a second here.
This is actually mad. The creativity that went behind this is exactly what I want to see on the Raid League, you know, because every month we have the opportunity to see records being tackled, if not broken, and we see some very creative runs, and that's exactly what you guys gave us right there, and I love this. I really do.
Also, the person who asked about my second staff, the logs are still bugged for some reason and don't show all your weapon skills. So if you look at actual logs, rotations and things are all still kind of messed up. But yeah, we this was really entertaining. Once we figured out that Scourge Portals could skip it, we actually dropped our warrior Pagan. I think he finished gearing his Scourge in the break between our practice and our kill hour. And his practice on Scourge was the kill hour, essentially. He was like,
LMAO.
yeah, we'll just do Scourge. No warrior needed.
I mean, like, he's still holding nicely, to be fair. Like, he's not doing that bad damage-wise. What I'm really impressed with is also your very clever use of the portal in order to avoid that wave mechanic that downs you. Because as you said earlier, you can't use a barrier to get rid of it, which is why we saw so many teams using a Boon Tempest or a DPS Tempest, bringing Rebound to take care of that one thing, and you guys manage it very nice. Oh, except when you're, oh no, Buyer POV Inc. Oh no, they got brought back. They got brought back. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it was messy. We should have put a little bit more time into this, but most of at least half of our team is NA based, and last weekend was a pretty big holiday. A lot of us were out of town, so we weren't able to really practice as much as we kind of would have hoped. You can also see he does have Corrosive Poison Cloud to help block those projectiles that you see flying in from the sides, so we could ignore the fact that the wisps exist for most of the fight.
Like you gotta be honest. This is a no kill. Like, there is nothing more to say about this. Creativity 10 out of 10. Execution, okay, maybe not a 10 out of 10, but that's pretty good. That's pretty alright. You know, I'm liking this.
Listen, the creativity's there here. On Mo, it might not be if people give me the pleasure of seeing our log on Mo.
Okay. Moving onwards, we have position number 4, Omega Pepegas. You know, I like this. That's a cool name. 3 minutes and 19 seconds. They brought in the purple class and the orange class. You know, like, so far, what we've seen, apart from your log, of course, Isa, is that orange class is the new purple. But what if, guys? What if you actually mixed the orange class and the purple class? You know, like, you put the two powers together, it becomes like super orange-purple class V2, and it actually wins the game. That's exactly what we're seeing right there with Omega Pepegas, OP.
Yeah, so they pretty much went with the old C&D record comp, except they used Mirages for Alacrity instead of Alacran. And that's because Mirages actually do a pretty good bit of damage. They also contribute to Might and Fury and Vulnerability uptime, which is not necessarily needed with this comp setup, but it's just a nice little bonus. They use some portals as well to skip the long platform in the split phase and stuff. They do have access to more portals than most groups because of having 5 purple, if they want.
Alright, you know, we're gonna watch the POV. Apparently there is a buyer POV, so I'm expecting at some point either you or Isa will go like, oh, when someone is gonna die. So yeah.
I don't know what. Hang on,
Let's
what
go with
POV
it.
are we watching here?
We're watching.
Oh,
apparently Max.
it's not the buyer POV. It's Max, the one who said, "Not mine, please."
LMAO. Let's go with that.
Shout out to this team
Alright.
being another NA Raid League team. We've
Gotta
been
love that.
pretty much only like 2 of us the entire time, so now we've got more. Pretty nice to see.
This is appreciated. You know, actually, you know what I'm liking the most? The the chat cover is probably the best character from the whole Fate franchise. So I'm just gonna weeb out, go full ayaya in the chat and say, yeah, like, good job, Max, good pick. Just no saber face and we Gucci. Alright.
I mean, the nice thing is, look at the burst
The
that those hollows
damage
have.
from the
I mean,
holders, yeah, I was actually
they
looking at
immediately
that.
spike
This is
over 40k.
massive. Yeah, this is massive. It's actually
Also,
which
notice-
is also very good because you can actually reset your burst on the first 2 phases because you get down to 80% and then you can just actually reload the entirety of your opener.
We also have a Attack on Titan cosplayer in this squad. If you look at that top DPS, look at that name.
I'm looking at the names and all I'm seeing is a bunch of weebs. Mikasa Ackerman, for real. Like, Attack on Titans finished, lads. You need to grow up. You need to grow up. Also, for the people not knowing about it, if you... Okay. Like, I'm gonna shout out something that has nothing to do with the Raid League for like a half second. If you guys actually didn't like the conclusion to Attack on Titans, there is a fan project called Attack on Titans Requiem. And they are actually drawing an alternate ending for it. And it's very good. It's actually impressive. So if you're into that, go check it out.
Listen, you can't tell them to grow up. I'm still living in my life where I love watching Naruto, okay? That ended a long time ago.
I mean, like, as long as you don't watch Boruto, I guess it's fine. Otherwise, our
No,
friendship is
I'm not-
terminated.
I'm not a huge Boruto fan. I do like the one movie that came out. I kind of enjoy the movie that came out. I enjoy seeing the fights in that movie, but the actual show itself, not a huge fan of it. I'll stick to the originals.
People realizing I'm a weeb in chat. This is actually perfect.
Guys, he streams Genshin.
Don't tell them. I wail only on husbandos. But yeah, joke aside, actually here we see the most important change of this balance patch. We saw the Mesmer using the skill number 2 to move not randomly, but to a zone they decided. Which is very, very important. Like, it's probably the best change in this balance patch.
To be honest, the excitement when the old downstate 2 skill would port you over a wall on SH or around the tornado on Sabir was one of the most exciting moments you could ever have in this game. But yes, that downstate 2 change is one of the best changes they made in this last patch.
Okay. I'm gonna give a little bit of hype back to the chat because as they have pointed it out, and there was one thing I'm gonna point out is that we have 420 viewers, but apart from that, they did say that we talked about weep stuff during the most important part of their performance, the portals. Because right now we're watching the last 10%, who cares, but they actually had very good portals. You know, they used our chronos and mirages to the best extent in order to move the teams, just like you guys did, Isa, with your scourges. So we should actually, you know, shout this out. It was very good. It was very good.
The portals, I think the mirages, it looked like there was more than just 2 portals, so the mirages might have taken some ports. Look at him exposing the guild tag, the guild roster right there at the end. You gotta be careful, can't expose the account names like that. They might get blackmailed now.
Yeah, I mean, no, or you know what's even better than blackmail? It's just sending a bunch of mail with 1 copper. And if enough people get dumb to send 1 copper, maybe you log their mail. Or like,
just be happy you're not Merrick getting 100,000 cauliflower mailed to him the past 48 hours.
I mean, you know what? He just shouldn't have his birthday. Joke aside though, we get to the gold tier of the Raid League. Wonderful ideas, poor execution, actually executed a run in the most awesome way, getting them that 3rd place. With 4 Holomancers, 2 Chronomancers, a single Druid, a single Berserker, and 2 Renegades, they played a comp we've seen far and away previously, yet managed to play it to the utmost of their capacities and get a time of 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Isa, what do you think about it?
I mean, it's just basically the same comp. You just swap out the 2 Mirages for the 2 Renegades. They just executed maybe a little bit better, slightly higher. Okay. I'm assuming they portaled. Everyone who's at this, you know, basically at this time has to portal. There's no way to kill it this fast without portaling, in my opinion, unless you're, I guess, cheating somehow. The DPS just can't stack up to the time save from the portals. So that it's just probably a very, I know we don't get to see the POV, but I bet you it's a very clean kill, with well executed rotations. There's not too much else to it.
I don't think you can actually hack for DPS. The only thing you can do is you can actually, like, I think remove the aftercasts. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much you can do to improve DPS with a hack. So,
yeah, I mean, they could bell with the hollow if that still works. I don't know if
oh, you mean that kind? You mean that kind? I thought you were actually talking about like.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. I'm not trying to say that they do it.
Yeah, we're very serious at the Raid League for people not to use any form of exploit. We have a keen eye for this kind of bullshit. Anyways, we move onwards to the number 2, and we congratulate Calamity, CA, also known as the best French international guild of the world, the universe and beyond. They speak all the languages on Earth, and maybe even some alien speech. It is Calamity. Congratulations to them for getting place number 2 with a time of 3 minutes and 2 seconds. They're nearly below 3 minutes, and I really hope that the number 1 team is gonna show us exactly that. 5 Holomancers carried this run beautifully, although I expect that the Chrono and Mirage put in a lot of work as well. Isa, I say we watch the POV and you comment it during it with your most quality knowledge. You alright with that?
I'm ready.
Onwards we go. Oh, it's Kobayashi Dragon Maid. Some more weep stuff. Yes.
Weebs unite. We're
Calamity
everywhere.
yeah, I'm kind of sad. There was no Calamity copy
That
paste in the
chat
chat.
cover, though. That chat cover is great.
Yeah,
Whoever
I
made
like
that,
it.
props to you.
That's actually a good meme that should be posted on Reddit. Watch it getting like 10 upvotes because it's not. I just came back to the game and made my legendary fluff post.
Oh my gosh. So, the first thing that I'll point out there is they actually did a really good job of stacking all the hollows, so they get to keep that damage buff, and they all just used AED to essentially negate the damage. There you get to see a good POV of the updraft as well. Back then, I'm a little delayed because I'm watching this on stream, so it's probably already happened, but you'll just see really clean. They'll break the bar on the wisps and the one portal to skip the long platform, and back to the boss we go. And I'm going to preemptively mention it. At 70%, they have a shockwave, and they choose to allow it to down their members, and then they get them back up immediately with a nature spirit, which is something that they put in their notes, and I thought it was very unique. I've actually not seen that coordination in a group for the shockwave. Usually people will just opt to go out for the little tornadoes.
Alright. A most quality analysis.
So we'll likely see 2 portals for this phase as well.
Yeah, the movement is very clean. Like, this was such a yikes moment. Did you see how close that one-shot tornado was?
So
To the
there's
portal?
actually, where they placed that portal is a safe spot. That tornado will never go to it. People just need to take like a half a second to look at their surroundings and make sure they don't walk the wrong way. But you're actually safe you're safe in that portal every time. You'll never get touched by that bad tornado.
Okay.
But yeah, this is just there's nothing, crazy creative about the comp itself. It's just a very, very clean kill.
I mean,
did a very good job.
like, one of the holo is still above 20k at this point in the fight, which is very, very impressive. Like, the amount of effort it goes into maintaining such a high quality rotation is dope. Actually above 22k. Yo, this is mad. I want to learn holo from that person. Like, if I had to choose a teacher, this is the one I would go with.
Spoiler alert, they end even higher. They have a pretty good last phase, it looks like.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It looks like they also have the Renegade bubble up to deal with those wisps, so they don't have to deal
wondering,
with getting immobilized and damaged.
Is that the AED gadget that allows them to forego the one shot altogether?
Yes. Yeah. So all the hollows can stack on top of each other and use AED. The other thing to note is that Mirage is actually not a staff Mirage. That is an axe Mirage. So it's a pure damage one. And I'm assuming they brought that because it's higher damage than Chrono. They allowed the one Chrono to do 10-man quickness, and that Mirage can bring a portal as well. So they were able to get a second portal for higher damage from it.
Alright, it is now time, Isa. It is time, once again, to have 17 elitists break the competition in half. Break the run in half. Completely delete the boss. Some people fear raiding. Raid bosses fear the 17 elitists. If I were Doom, I would sit on my throne and be like, no, not home. No, you're not coming. If I were the Cardinal Sabir, I would be like, who let the door open? Who let the guys in? I don't want to be there. I don't want to be a djinn anymore. I'm out. But yeah, this, once again, is them doing an impressive run, completely deleting the competition, and doing so in class. They didn't need to stack any class. Their comp has 5 of the rainbow colors. It's looking great. Isa, my dear, would you say a few words?
So they went with just a higher damage comp overall. Firebrands are just better damage than Chronos if the Chronos are bringing quickness. So bringing quick brands rather than STM Chronos is just stronger. I'm being called out right now because first place brought a Banner Slave and we did not. But I think you're actually calling the class the incorrect name, Valks. It is a Lightfield Slave now. We were discussing this before the stream.
Yeah, actually,
no
if someone
longer...
wants to post a meme in the chat, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, so it's a classic comp that does they do a good job. They have high DPS in the boss phases that allow them to be slightly slower than someone who's doing multiple portals in the split phases and still be a faster overall kill time.
Alright, well, that's pretty impressive. And you know what is even more impressive? Watching their POV. Let's go with that, Isa. Ooh, boy. It's very annoying that the music it's popping in and out. I'll try and fix that real soon.
I think Mura just posted the meme. Yes, he did.
Oh boy, that's good.
Quality memes. Oh, look at the chat cover. I like it.
Yeah, I like that chat cover as well. Yeah. And I also like the. I also like the cover on the other side.
The
is that
canceled,
actually a meme?
The canceled Prime Light Beam.
Yeah.
He was just highlighting the fact that he canceled his Prime Light Beam and didn't have it, and now we're getting a disco strobe light.
Oh, this is hilarious.
So they also opted to stack the AEDs and ignore the one-shot. He eventually did get his Prime Light Beam off. He did not forget about that skill the entire first phase.
Yeah, it's a shame though, because he won't have it back for the next phase.
You can see how strong Renegade is. So Hollow has been basically the king of DPS on this class, and Renegade is right up there with him.
They're so good. Like, what I really enjoy about this is how synchronized, how clean the run looks. Like, you can see the Renegades using their skills exactly at the same time.
And the thing is the Renegades are in charge of Alacrity too, so they're taking a DPS loss to provide Alacrity, and they both
DPS loss.
They both provided
DPS loss where?
They got such a buff. Condi Renegade has like a 41 or a 42k bench now, 43 or 44, I think, if you have allies with you to hit with the spirits.
This is so big, and also as you pointed out right at the start of this streams, for the people who haven't heard about it, go watch the VOD. The use of the updraft right before the jumping platform pops up, very clean, very clean.
and that updraft is very quick. You got to be quick to get over there. If you're a little too late, you're actually just gonna hit your head on that platform when you go up on the updraft, and you'll fall to your death.
So these guys really doing God's work right there.
Like, back in the last time we did Sabir, back when I was with Scuffed Opening, before they kind of fell apart, a bunch of us tried to do that updraft, and we could not consistently get it. We just kept dying, and we ended up just saying, screw it, we're just going to forget about it and take the time loss.
Fell apart? Is there some Guild Wars 2 drama? Because as you know, I'm now a commentary channel for Guild Wars 2. So it's not
bad, just a lot of people just got burnt out of the game. That's how we started Patchwork Gamers, because we had to just grab people from like 5 different guilds and make a patchwork squad for last month. And
that's just what the NA scene is like, man. When you got like 10
Pretty
raiders
much.
and a half, you just gotta do it like this. No offense to the NA raiders.
I mean, it's true. It's true.
It feels bad, man.
It's a good kill. It's just they're very fast. They continue to stack up to keep that DPS buff. And they just have really good rotations and high damage during the actual boss phases.
Indeed, it is just a very clean run, and also that was the weekly kill, wasn't it? That was some gating. No, actually not the weekly kill, but that person was not capped. Okay, I see.
They also
I see how it is.
At the end there, to notice one more thing, they used the little corners mechanic. They used a mesmer portal, to get back to the boss quicker, to help them get damage back to the boss a little bit quicker for the people who were not able to sit through that one shot.
Okay, well, I guess it is now time to talk about points very quickly. So as you guys saw, the number 1 team was 17 Elitists, and this time around we had 3 teams in gold. We can say that 3 teams did not finish the run, but that is completely okay. We're very happy that they participated nonetheless. 21 teams have taken part in tackling Cardinal Sabir. One of them is in bronze, and that leaves about 14 of them in silver. Point-wise, we of course have 3 teams above 90 in gold. Most of the rest is in silver, so there is still a lot of room for silver players to end up in the gold tier based on what they did at Mursaat Overseer, which is exactly where we will be going right now, you know. So, I say we go onwards. Muru replaces Isa. And I'm gonna try very quickly, like interlude screen. I'm gonna try to fix the issue with the sound popping off on YouTube. Hopefully, I manage to. If I don't, so be it. Big Sadget. Alright, it should work. It should be fine. Alright, back to the Raiding League screen, and I hope that Muru is ready for Mursaat Overseer. Dope.
I am so excited. This
Muru enabled.
This is such a fun one, actually. Mursaat has so little mechanics. You pretty much can ignore them all the way, since you've got to wait for the Jade Scouts, soldiers, I can't remember what they're called now, to get to the end before it matters, but by then the boss is melted, so you don't even need to think about the mechanics. So essentially it's just a DPS golem, and since a new patch has just ticked over, seeing what people can do to maximize DPS is really, really cool. I'm really excited to see what some people have done.
Alright, what would you say about this encounter beyond the fact that, of course, massive DPS makes it a breeze? You know, maybe we should explain to people that this encounter was made by the most brilliant minds at Aranet, for the most brilliant minds amongst the players. In this encounter, you are but a pawn on the chess game. That is exactly where you stand. The Mursaat Overseer literally oversees the whole fight. He sends his own pawns against you, and if they manage to reach the other side of the arena, they will come for your ass. Beyond that, there are 3 main mechanics you need to pay attention to, which is claiming some territory to move to, having a bubble to protect you in the cases of need, and finally removing the shields from the enemy pawns as they come back for you. With this said, I guess we're kind of good. Would you add anything?
I do, as Evo has messaged in the stream channel, a moment of silence for Boon Daredevil. It's got nerfed from 10-man boons to 5-man and is no longer that used, and it's really changed how the boss works, so goodbye, our poor, beautiful Boon Daredevil.
Alright. Boon Thief, forever in our hearts. That's, how do they say it among the weebs? It's like Sasageyo, no? Steal your hearts? I don't remember. Yeah. I mean, if we go full Ayaya, the chat is gonna be mad again, so just, let's move on. Let's move on. Number 21, we get Shades of the Shadows, SOS, with a time of 1 minute 31. Yo, are you telling me that the worst time we're gonna see today is 1 minute 31? No. Yo,
it's so fast.
That's mad. That's actually mad. I mean, this is so fast. Pug groups don't get this fast. 1 minute 31 is the slowest. If you told me this before I saw it, I would say, nah, Muru, stop pulling my leg. I know we're friends and you can joke a little bit, but I don't take this. And here I am, dumbfounded. So, comp-wise, what is there to say? Pride Month, Colors of the Rainbow, we in here.
Very rainbow.
I mean, actually, 7 colors. We got a rainbow, lads. If you've got your bingo cards, you check in the rainbow colors. So yeah, that's pretty dope.
They've tested out a few different things from what they said, and obviously class limitations are a bit of a problem. So not everyone can play every class. So you just play what you're good at to get good times in that hour, and that's what they did with a few of them, with like the Dragon Hunter, for example, and the Hollow. Rather than going for like the OP stuff right now, play what you're good at, what you can pull off, and still reach an insanely fast time. Like 1 minute 30 seconds for a raid boss is just ridiculous.
Yeah. This is kind of dope. So yeah, let's just watch this POV as Linka puts the log in the chat. You know, lads, there is no need to be mad. The logs are always gonna come to you. And if you miss them, you can check them out later on the website or on the sheets shown to everyone on the Discord server. So join our Discord, remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, all of that. And check out our website. And please disable ad blocks. We need money. I don't even know if we run
All
ads.
the plugs.
I don't even know if we run ads, but disable ad block, you know, disable ad block. Yeah, let's watch this.
It's going to be interesting and more, you know, how they built their teams rather than what mechanics they did, unlike Sabir. So, like, on Sabir, we saw different portals and different strategies, and here it's mostly how they've executed the strategies, what team comps they can use, and how much screen shake they've got on.
Yeah, so there is a screen shake, there is the old condition damage ticks, and I think this is like sub 30 FPS, 720p. This is daunting.
Oh,
but
seeing
it is an
seeing all the
impressive
numbers
kill.
fly.
Yeah, I mean, there is something very pleasant in seeing all the numbers flying like this.
Yeah, so with the slower times that they've got here, you can see the Scourges running Epidemics. They can just completely get rid of the Jade Scouts.
Yeah.
So they kill the Jade Scouts, don't need to worry about that mechanic, and then just keep focusing on that hard DPS on the boss. So Scourge does bring that usefulness, even if it is using camera shake.
Easy. I mean, like, it's also the Cyberlink power director in the bottom right side that's kind of wounding me right there. Just, lads, I'm just gonna say one thing. Windows Movie Maker doesn't have a watermark. These will be my final thoughts on this encounter. But like, I'm actually impressed that that they managed to do like a 30k plus rotation with this kind of a setup. Like this is actually worthy of some hype. You know, congratulations to them for doing that for real.
Scourge being second DPS on that was insane. Like Scourge is insanely strong right now, as Isa was saying earlier. So it's really it's nice to see some refreshing classes here.
Yeah, it's very good. Moving onwards, we have Drunken Quaggan's DQs, which does not send for disqualified. With a time of 1 minute 26, 5 minutes faster than the previous submission, they also brought forward the power of the rainbow and managed, well, one color away from the power of the rainbow though, they managed to get a very good run. And I really like their good logo. You know, like that crossed downstate mark, I like this. Me like it.
I like the double firebrands, which we ran in our Sabir, obviously, and we'll probably see a lot more. So because you don't have the Daredevil anymore, you need quickness from somewhere. So you've got choice between firebrands, Chronos, 10-man quickness, or even the new Scrapper. It's a bit underpowered, so we probably won't see it.
I've seen everybody talk about that new Scrapper that's supposed to bring literally a bazillion boons, healing, damage reduction, everything. Like, I swear to God, the new Scrapper build makes coffee for you. Like, we're gotten to that point.
Heal Scrapper is insane, but sadly, Power Quickness Scrapper isn't quite there yet, and hopefully we get to see a nice little boost on them next patch if they bring it. So, yeah, it would be nice to see what happens with them.
Yeah, but people love you so much in the chat. Like, I wish I got half of that hype. And also, it's...
Don't worry,
it's getting very hot here. It's getting very hot here because of your voice, Muru. Like,
Oof.
I'm not ready to cast with you in the heat of the summer, man. We're gonna need to find a solution. Yeah, jokes aside, we move onwards to position 19. It is Primordus goes rah. They brought an actual herald. Oh, I'm impressed. I am surprised. Positively surprised.
They forgo the Druid, which we saw in the last comp, to try and bring more DPS with the Herald, because even though you don't have much mechanics to deal with insanely strong pulsing damage, so you still need that regen and protection from the Herald to at least try and keep you sustained. So obviously the Renegades and Scourges can stay max health, but the other classes will struggle a little bit. So the Herald is there to bring might, obviously, and the protection and regen to try and help them stay alive that entire time.
Okay, I mean that's some very good analysis, and I really like this. And yeah, as you pointed out, this is not an encounter where you actually need a druid to keep you alive. Like, with just a little bit of damage mitigation, you can forego the healer class entirely. Moving onwards to position number 18, we have Pragmatic Raiding. With a time of 1 minute and 16 seconds, we're getting much closer to the dreaded sub 1 minute. They also have quite an interesting comp. They brought the double Scourge, interesting. Triple Firebrand, bringing quickness, which probably, and a single Mirage, who's probably also helping a little bit with the quickness.
Yeah,
Mirage is super strong, but is it as strong here as everywhere else? What do you think?
So it's there to give the might and the alacrity. So the Renegades right now are really strong. So losing 5% damage buff is much bigger than it used to be to run Righteous Rebel. So bringing that Mirage to bring the alacrity and the might, which previously the Herald and Druid we saw cover it, is really good. But Mo he attacks, but he doesn't attack that much, so you don't get as many confusion procs. So it doesn't quite have the same strength, but it's still a very strong class, and not gonna lie, probably gonna get nerfed a little bit, but it's a very strong class to see be used right now.
Alright. I mean, I just, as I was saying with Isa earlier, I'm just surprised at how strong Scourge is right now. Like, everybody talking about Scourge, Mighty Teapot making a guide on it. It's dope. I really like it. It's impressive. I am, you know, I'm taken aback by this. I kind of want to make some similar build on like a Soul Beast, like some mid-tier Soul Beast to try and see if we can just, you know, scrap Druid altogether, or like play a good Condi Druid. I don't know. Like, I want Druid to have the same thing.
Yeah,
like Ranger to have the same thing.
A lot of the Soul Beasts we'll see now. When the sheet gets uploaded, you'll see so many varieties of hybrid and Condi. They swap between the two constantly. Every single team chooses a different one.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. You know, that's what is good. The meta right now got shaken. We have such great submissions. It's not full purple anymore. I am so happy. And you know what makes me even happier? Talking about the team that came number 17, which is Relax and Ignore DPS. 1 minute and 15 seconds means they're just 1 second faster than the previous team, and they brought 6 of the colors of the rainbow as well. For Renegades, as you said earlier, Renegade is a very strong class right now, and I guess that really shows. You know the vibe I get from this comp is we meta now. You know, this is what's meta right now. This is actually what's meta.
This is like a good standard DPS comp. And just a little shout out to them. The Mirage ran full Celestials to try and improve that alacrity uptime because it is very tight. And Celestials isn't a major DPS loss because it now gives expertise on top. So it can just still give similar stats to Vipers as well as that concentration. So it's a really nice stat line now.
Okay. Moving onwards to team number 16 because we do need to move onwards when I have 30 minutes left. Muru, oh my god. It is Fail, Learn, Improve, and Succeed. FLIS. Time 1 minute 13 seconds, 2 seconds faster, and they got, of course, position 16 for that. This is a Pride Month team comp. Actually, Pride Month +1. You know, that's 8 colors. The 8 colors of the rainbow. It's like when you add the plus at the end of LGBTQ. This is very good. This is very creative. I like.
Yeah, no.
Actually, no. That's 7 colors. That's 7 colors. I need new glasses, Muru. Someone fundraise me new glasses. Go on.
No, it's just similar to before. Strong classes. You know, a few meta picks with Scourge, Renegade, Mirage, and Hollows. It's just a good all-round teams.
Okay, that's it. I guess we move onwards then. Yeah, I'm sorry, like everybody's seeing me checking my phone to answer. Actually, it's because I have the chat on my phone and the chat on the screen is a bit too far for my eyes, so I don't have to lean. I'm using the phone. Anyways, this is a POV we will be watching. Here vio por nuestros pecados, Flying Spaghetti Monster. A time of 1 minute and 11 seconds. That's the 111. We're just a few digits away from the 777, which would have brought them even more luck. 5 Renegades. 5 Renegades.
Worth
That's
pointing
meta.
out.
Meta?
Worth pointing out, 3 Renegades in 1 sub is kind of bad because the Razor Claw overwrites each other, so you actually kind of lose damage if you're not careful or if you don't buffer them. So then it becomes a choice of, if we run too many Renegades, we'll start losing DPS. But Renegades are really strong, so you kind of want 2 in one sub, 2 in another, and then with the Soul Beast providing stance share on Vault Stance, you're like, but then we want as many on the Soul Beast sub as possible to get more poison. So it's kind of like a little fitting problem of where do we put these Renegades to try and maximize the DPS.
I see how it is. Well, that's very interesting, and you know what, we're gonna watch that POV. This is just that good.
It's worth pointing out that this is rank 15 and second in silver. Just want to tell everyone how hype this one is.
Yeah, this is big. Like, so many teams in gold, I'm really looking forward to looking at the submissions. And I hope that all of our 447 viewers are also looking forward to it. Okay, that's also floating numbers.
Yeah, floating numbers again.
It moves so fast. Like, this gives me epilepsy.
Yeah, you can see right now on the bottom right, the DPS graph, you can see how one Renegade is quite a bit ahead of the others. So there's a pretty good chance that he stole the Razor Claw on the floor. So yeah, that's the problem with having too many on one side, that you've got a chance of stealing them, but it's still a very strong class, obviously.
This is really impressive. And as I wanted to point out earlier, you know, we were talking about how this encounter worked. You can see the Jade Scouts moving towards the other side of the arena. You kind of want to make sure that they don't reach it, otherwise it's a little bit of an annoyance. When you have such amazing damage, you don't even need to try and kill them. They just won't come back to you if you've gotten rid of the Mursaat Overseer. The last 10% can be done in the bubble that negates every single bit of damage. That's just how good it is. That's just how big it is.
It's a funny boss, because if you're slightly slower, it becomes harder. So getting a fast time is easier as long as you can meet the DPS criteria, because as soon as those Jade statues come, they do hurt quite a lot, especially when you're running no healer comps.
Yeah. Speaking about no healer comps, that's not what Kuantifai has in store for us. The bootleg version of the QT guild, going under the tag KT, has given us a 1 minute and 9 second run, getting them place number 14. They brought 6 Renegade. I guess all the good Renegade players were like, time to shine, hold my beer. And I guess we're gonna watch that POV, Maru, shall we?
Yeah, it's similar to what I was saying before about how too many Renegades could be a detriment, but there's such a strong DPS class right now, and they can always bring Righteous Rebel to give alacrity. So they're very good right now, very strong class. I'm not surprised to see if it gets toned down next patch as well.
The saturation is...
yeah, I was gonna say.
that's kind of... As I was saying in the chat earlier, I'm already having eyesight issues, which means I need to look at the chat on my phone. This is not helping. So please, lads, if you want to help your #1 favorite streamer staying alive and having good eyesight, don't do this. Don't do me like this.
Yeah, as someone said, the time is 1 minute 9 seconds, and it's 14th, was it?
yeah, it's really impressive. I just want to see a world record being beaten again on this very stream. The Raid League always has amazing stuff in store for us, and I don't want to be spoiled, but I also really, really look forward to this.
The whole Soul Beast stack, which that used to exist, got very hard nerfed, both with the Boon Daredevil disappearing, or not disappearing, but getting very hard nerfed, and obviously Soul Beast becoming weaker. So it will be interesting to see what the top teams can pull off, since you can't pull off the record strategy anymore. It's just not possible.
Yeah. I'm really thinking, though, that the damage on that Condi Druid is a little bit low. Like, Condi Druid damage should be higher, to be fair. Alright. Oopsie. Okay. Whew. I had a little bit of trouble right there, but position number 11. Mirror. We're now in the gold realm, which means that every team from here on out is gonna be in the gold tier, which means that they're in the 19th percentile, like next to the top team. This is how big it is. This is how huge it is. Impressive.
want to give
truly
a little.
impressive.
I want to give a little shout out to this team since I think they signed up this split, so it's like their first proper split doing it, and they're in gold in the second boss here. So it's a pretty good job to them. Props to them.
Yeah. Linka, I think that's kind of logical that the bot would say that another team is on place 11. We have 3 teams on place 11. You should have gone 13, 12, 11, probably, to get them in the same order. Because we have 3 teams, at least, at 1 minute 7, since we went from 15 to this. Well, 14 to this. 1 minute 7 seconds, that's actually very impressive. Yeah, it's very impressive. I like this.
They fixed the problem of, instead of running a renegade, they ran another soul beast, and then all of the renegades can get the vulture stance buff, which I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
So renegade uses vulture stance like crazy, so it's a really nice DPS up, and it's just such a good team. Like 1 minute 7 seconds, it's an insane time when you think about it. So hard to say anything bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is very good. It is very good. Moving onwards to the other 11th team, we have Legendary... Oh! We have Legendary Inside, who were determined to show us that the purple class has not died yet. You know, they were like, Boon Thief got nerfed? No problem. We put 2 of them. Power Chrono got nerfed? No problem. Condi Mirage, strong. We get 7 of them. Right? And you know what? You know what would even be better? With all of this merry team of merry guys, we had a single light field bitch. Yes.
The light field slave.
Yes.
Let's go.
There we go. That's gotta teach them. That's gotta show them. Grudge. I mean, this is impressive.
If chat looks at the log, you'll see how much damage. It's an insane amount of damage that the Mirages are doing.
Yeah,
and
this
obviously
is actually... Jesus.
Yeah, so there's, I believe, 1 staff Mirage to provide alacrity. That's the bottom Mirage on the list, poor guy. And all the rest are Focus and Torch. So they can do the smoke-filled shenanigans, which we saw for Largos not long ago, of having a focus well inside the smoke field to give crazy amounts of confusion. I think it's 13 proc, so 26 confusion from all of the blinding bolts, and it just stacks up crazy amounts. Like, if you guys take a look at the log, you just see graph confusion, and it just shoots up like crazy right at the start, almost 500 confusion.
Jesus. you know what, Muru? I would actually be kind of happy to show a POV from that, to be fair. So, what do you say we watch one of the Mirage POVs as the chat is requesting, and then we move onwards?
Oh,
we're only gonna lose like a minute on the timer or something, so I guess it's doable.
You're running double Boon Thief.
Wait, it is actually updating my Firefox. Okay, interesting. Firefox update happened. All right, let's watch this. Oh, that chat cover. I like it.
Yeah,
it's very fitting.
Mirage.
It is very fitting.
So
the FPS is already dropping.
Yeah, of course it will. I'm not surprised.
Boy. Oh boy, that's violent.
So because you're running Boon Thieves, obviously, for the quickness and might and everything, they might as well just bring Pistol offhand to supply the crazy amounts of smoke fields. And then, obviously, they've got a focus for the smoke fields, and all of the Axe 2s from Mirage, I believe, proc 3 finishes? I don't know, I tested it, I've forgotten now. But you're procking 3 finishes through smoke fields, which will provide 6 extra confusion per Axe 2. So it's like crazy confusion, all stacking up with Mirage, who's really strong right now. I mean, it's such a beautiful strategy, and I love seeing it.
What I find so crazy is the fact that their torment ticks so high already, and that's not even the highest ticking condition. The confusion is just massive.
Mirage right now is a strong class, so it's nice to see people who pull it off.
It's really annoying because I actually dislike playing that class. Like, I made one because I was forced to, and I still dislike it. Alright, we watched it, everybody happy, we go back to our presentation, you know, we move onwards. We saw the purple class taking a huge hit on the Mursaat Overseer. And we can now talk about the third team that ranked 11th. That is none other than Dumb Logic DL. They didn't need so many purple classes. They instead went with the red one. The better red one, because there is of course the light red, and we are talking about the deep red. No banner slave. No banner slave.
Yeah, so the strong classes are back. And the thing about BS is, for Condi classes, it only offers 100 Condi damage. The power, precision, and ferocity is really, really minor. So it's, for Condi comps, it's sometimes worth forgoing the BS just because it doesn't offer enough and doesn't do the damage. So it's actually a DPS loss overall. That's why it's kind of like a... I always wonder if it's worth or not to bring a BS in a Condi comp, and they've decided against it, and I agree with it. I like it.
Alright. I guess we're not gonna watch that POV, and instead we're gonna move onwards. And that is to rank number 10, which is Kormir, you know, from the Crossroads Inn. A very impressive team, doing very impressive stuff. We love to see them. They love to be in there. If you want, once again, you know, if you want to learn some raids, you can go to the Crossroads Inn, you know, someone do an exclamation mark in, or just check the description if you're interested in it. A time of 1 minute 6, that's just 1 second faster than the previous run. They went for a Herald over a Renegade, and they brought back in the Banner Slave. What else would we have to say about this, Maru?
Yeah, no, it's again pretty standard. Having the Herald there for boons, obviously. Also to help out, don't quote me because I clearly haven't looked properly, but I think the Mirage didn't run as much concentration to try and keep alacrity up because they have the Herald, which can extend all boons received by 20%, so they can get away with running less boon duration, so they can do obviously more damage.
I mean, it is indeed a very clever choice. I'm actually enjoying these new setups for meta runs. You know, this is so much nicer than full purple. Anyways, we are already nearing the 1 minute, even though we're only at rank 10. So I'm really hyped about what's going on onwards from there. So yeah. Oh, that's gonna be a triple way Execro again. Oh, I like this.
There's a lot of really tight times here.
Oh my god! 1 minute 4 seconds. 3 teams are there. That's really dope. Really, really dope.
Yeah, 1 minute 4 seconds. It's insane. Like the time which people have right now is so close. You see it's seconds apart, and then loads of teams are on the same second as well. So it's
that's really dope. So yeah, shout outs to Wonderful Ideas, Poor Execution for this very good run. See, that's the standard. The standard comp is what we're seeing right there. The new DPS class is gonna be that Condi Renegade. It also brings in good alacrity through use of RR, if I'm not mistaken. And the Condi Mirage is more than able to bring in some quickness, which can always be supplemented by a Firebrand. So this is just looking like it is the new best thing, you know. It looks also like, from my own point of view, even though right there is of course foregoing a druid that would otherwise be bringing some healing. This looks like it is enough to sustain damage in these short encounters, short bursty encounters. I could see this working on like a Veil Guardian by using the barrier for the Scourge as well.
I think the only class there which doesn't have really good self-sustain is the Mirage.
Yeah.
So the Firebrand can use its heal skill quite a few times since it doesn't need to save it for anything, it can just spam it. Whereas the Mirage only has its own heal skill. So it's a bit risky for them, but everyone else has some sort of sustain which lets them stay in the fight without having to worry about healing.
Damn. I mean, Scourge is just, as we were saying earlier with Isis, Scourge is just so strong. It brings so much to the table right now. It would be a mistake not to have one. Alright everyone, we have returned. As I said, the mighty SSD is carrying this stream, so big shout out to Samsung for not sponsoring me. But yeah, we're back in this. I would assume that I had a slight sound issue due to it being quite hot right now in my room. And if I had to pinpoint a culprit for this, for it being this hot in my room, the culprit is none other than Muru, for having this hot of a voice and being in voice chat with me for nearly an hour. It is your voice, Muru! It is your voice! My computer cannot handle your manliness! It is all I can say! But yeah, I am really sorry to everyone for this interlude, and I'm also very sorry to, to Linka, because he's gonna have to deal with 2 video files unless I work it with him. But yeah, jokes aside, we are back together, and we're back to talk about wonderful ideas for execution. We were, going over their team comp, we're going over just about everything that was going on in there, and saying that it was quite impressive. What else is there to say about it? I think we were quite good on that end, and we could, talk about the other 2 teams that are executive for that 7th position. What do you think?
I'm pretty excited that all the teams are so close together. It's a bit shame that we can't exactly see all of them and see what, really interesting intricacies they've done, especially because mode doesn't have that much strategy. It's the strategy of the comps, the micromanagement of all of the rotations, and all the very specific things you need to do. So it's a shame we can't see all of them and see exactly what they've done, but everyone's done a really, really good job to get 1 minute and 4 seconds. So.
That is actually correct. We're still on the Sabir background. This is so bad on me. And I had such a good background from Mursaat Overseer. I played myself. Shit. But yeah, anyways, you know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about the next team that came up. And that team is Lonely Raiders in your area. They're brandishing the pantsu. Me likey the pantsu. 1 minute and 4 seconds as well. Nearly the same comp. Actually, the same comp. Exactly the same comp. Exactly the same time. You know what, Muru? I'm thinking it's exactly the same players. I'm gonna go with the conspiracy theory right there. They decided to go for double the rewards, and they submitted double the logs. Huh. You cannot fool me. But yeah, congratulations to them for getting this time. And as we move onwards to the other team at the 7th position, we congratulate Grenth Theft Auto. That's almost the same team comp. They went with an extra renegade.
Yeah, extra Ren instead of the Scourge, which again was that little packing problem which I was saying of 2 Rens per sub is a bit of a more than 2 Rens per sub is a bit of a DPS loss, so you don't know whether to take them or not. But they got away with it and did obviously a really good time of 1 minute and 4 seconds.
But I'm gonna actually save the universe and turn on the ventilation here. Otherwise my computer is just gonna overheat again. I need to buy a new freshener for that computer. Anyways, very impressive kill. Once again, you guys tell me if the ventilator is a little bit too loud. I just bought it, so I have no idea. I guess we talk about the team that came number 6, shouldn't we?
Yeah, time to see.
Yeah. Going onwards, we have Caudecus Ministry. Oh, that's another 3-way tie.
Yep.
Are you shitting me? Yo, that's my jam.
Yep.
No, actually, that's a 4-way tie.
Yep, 4-way tie. I told you everyone was so close, and that's a second faster than the other 3-way tie we had.
Oh
Literally
my god! Oh my god! This is dope. This is
everyone
actually dope.
is so close.
Yo, that's impressive. That's exactly the same comp as the previous team, Grand Theft Auto, who got like 1 second slower. This is so close. All the teams are battling for that 1 second. I love it. I love to see it.
Such tight times. Really close. Like, it's down to execution at this point. It's just so beautiful to see how tight and close all the teams are.
It is truly crazy. Also, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent right there. I'm sorry to the chat, but hear me out. Right there, right now in the chat, there is Legendary Lean who came to say hello. And the Legendary Lean is hosting a competition as well, centered around the Dragon Response missions. If you're into this kind of content, make sure that you check out what he is up to and what is coming at the Heartstock tournaments. So yeah, throw my boy Lin a little bit of a follow if you are also on the DRM end of things. Back to the stream. Going onwards, we are gonna watch that POV from Caudecus Ministry and enjoy every little bit of goodness dripping from it. Let us go.
Nice to see people learning as well the new Renegade rotation. So it's not the same as the old one, it's slightly different. So you can see people sometimes in the POVs still having a bit of struggle readjusting to it and getting used to the weird reactivation timings it has. So again, it is execution at this point with 1 second apart from each other. It's nice to see how well these new rotations are being pulled off.
I mean, actually, one thing that was said in the chat right now, which is very interesting, is the fact that if you change just one trait on Mirage, you would actually get perma protection. That's dope. I mean, this is so interesting that you have this kind of versatility in a class. I like it.
Sure. Not to doubt whoever said that, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm pretty sure they get permanent protection for themselves, but not for other people. So it does help them survive, which was a problem they had earlier, obviously. Yeah, 70% not perma, and for themselves. Yeah, that's the one to help them stay alive. Because I said they don't have.
As you said, yeah, they're the class that has the least survivability, and in a comp that is actually foregoing a healer altogether, it is not bad to get some personal sustain. You know,
yeah, like, you see the Ren with battle scars ticking up because the new rotation runs battle scars, so you just heal so much. You just never die on bosses, so they don't need any healer at all.
That's very impressive. But you know what else is impressive? The people who came in at number 3 as well. They are actually placed 5 on the bots, but we know in our heart of hearts that they're number 3 as well. Playing the same comp, it is none other than the Patchwork Gamers, you know, the last 10 players forming the bastion of the NA raiding scene. Led by the old wonderful Isa. I mean, I don't even know if he's a leader, but we're gonna go with that narrative. He was the caster for the first half of the stream. They had a very impressive run right there, and we're gonna have a look at it. Like I'm saying, we just watch the POVs and move along, because we're just gonna see a lot of Mursaat stuff. It's probably gonna be the same comp, so we're gonna shout out the major differences. So yeah, let's move on.
Of course, this is Isa's POV as well, so
Isa's POV.
time
and
to
we
bully
get
the rotation.
And we get a 1440p. You know, we go big on quality right there. He's dunking on the people who are playing with screen shake 720p 10 FPS. What a lad! That big PP.
You know, obviously strong kill, strong comp. It's the exact same time. It's hard to compare. Obviously, there's a slight variations in the comp. So I believe these guys ran Condi Soul Beast, whereas CM ran Hybrid Soul Beast. They're very, very similar DPS from all the logs that we've seen. So I don't think it's a major loss or gain either way.
Damn.
But it's nice to see Hybrid Soul Beast coming around and just a non-stack version. So
I like this.
Yeah, obviously great team. NA one of NA's few teams.
I mean, you love to see it. It's the fact that there are people giving us these kind of amazing submissions on a monthly basis that makes the Raid League what it is. So yeah, if you are willing to participate into the Raid League, do not feel threatened by these amazing displays of skill. You too can be amazing. And here we have the Omega Pepegas, you know, also going for that 4-way tie at rank 3. They removed one, Herald for a Scourge, which I can respect. I mean, Scourge strong. Scourge very big strong. I like this.
As soon as someone asked where was Omega Pepegas, we just pop up. Perfect timing.
you know, like that's the way it is. The Raid League stream is here for you guys. You know, you ask, we deliver. And you know what we ask for right now? To watch that POV. Let's deliver.
Yeah, no, they decided to, again, swap the Renegade for a Scourge, because Scourge is strong and stacking Renegades is slightly problematic. But, again, damage is exactly on par as we've seen, so the DPS loss from running Scourge instead of Ren was made up for because you didn't have the Ren overlapping each other's buff as much.
Oh, I thought the challenge mode has been activated. I was like, are they actually gonna do it CM?
No, so what they've done is, what you can do is pre-stack your energy by turning on CM, walking into the orange to get the poison, and then turning off CM. So all the Revenants have poison to have 100 energy at the start.
That's, I mean, that's kind of grey area, you know, that's kind of weak sauce.
I think it's because...
like
I think it's a way to speed it up, because you can do the same pre-casting by just walking on the orange and then just waiting there. But I think it's just a nice, quicker way to speed up rather than spend like a longer time pre-casting. So I don't see a big problem with it, but yeah.
I mean, what I'm really loving is the damage. Like earlier when we looked at the stacked Mirage comp, we saw that a lot of them had damage around 40k to a little bit above 40k. And right there the Renegades are pulling that off, and I think it's magnificent. That Scourge is also motherfucking massive.
Yeah, when you throw the Vulture stance on it as well, it's very strong. Like I said before, they can proc it nearly off cooldown with the amount that they hit. And just to... it died, they're just gone, dead.
Oh, yo, Muru, my man.
Yeah.
You let me down.
Yeah, I know.
You let me down, bro.
I know,
Wow.
I know. We
Yo.
weren't first place.
Yo, what you doing? What you doing right now? What you doing, yo, Muru? I don't agree with this. You will be put in the naughty boy corner of my dungeon tonight. You're just sleeping on the bare ground tonight, Muru. This is not okay.
We tried.
This is not okay, Muru. I do not stand with this, Muru. What is that? What is this display?
The patch has nerfed 17.
The patch has nerfed 17, he says. Okay. I'll go with that. That's cool. Yo, I can't move back too much. My shirt is green and it's getting melted into the green screen. Feels bad. But yeah, actually, you know, one thing that we can say nonetheless, there is a Deadeye. The fuck is that?
So
that's the
in
POV
Sarah,
we're gonna watch. So that's... Tell us.
In Sarah is our token Deadeye. He loves the class and he's really good at it. And currently he does this Condi's Deadeye bench. Condi Deadeye is strong. It got very nerfed recently, but it's still a strong class. So we decided to pick it up because we didn't want to stack Renegades, just because of the diminishing returns.
Okay, very fair. Also, before we watch the PV, I'm just gonna add, because I see people in the chat talking about world record. The world record is technically not valid, because we had so many balance patches in between that there is no record run in the current, balance. Which is very important to point out, in my opinion. Nonetheless, let's move on, watch this run. And I'm looking forward to watch just who dethroned you, my man.
I'm getting messages now. Just people are like, I'm disappointed in you.
We moved a slide too fast, but that's completely alright.
Yeah, Condi Deadeye is strong. It was very strong with the recent patch. It had a 45k bench with allies, but it's very restrictive, so there's not much reason to bring it other than damage. As we'll see here, it does damage. It does a lot of damage. Though it does get beat by some of the other more popular classes now, so because they did do a very, very big nerf on it recently. But yeah, Ensera is a very strong Condi Deadeye, and as I said before, we wanted a DPS class that doesn't, overwrite the Razor Claw, which is a problem you need to really watch out for. So Condi Deadeye was our replacement, whereas we saw a lot of the other teams run Scourge instead.
Makes sense. The damage on it is very solid.
Yeah, with the precasted Venoms as well, it's very, very strong. Very tricky rotation. I recommend people trying it out. It's fun, but very hard. Especially when you accidentally, Dagger 3, because it teleports you a little bit. Dagger 3 right into the spikes and wipe your team.
That's pistol dagger?
Yeah, pistol dagger.
Okay,
So-
I'm really not familiar with Deadeye. I'm not even sure I unlocked Deadeye on my account. So I'm really just dumbfounded by what I'm saying right now.
So to people who don't quite know, what you do is you use pistol dagger 3, which teleports you back a little bit and unlocks a skill called Repeater. And then you can spam that because it does really big bleeding, poison because it's a dual attack, and then stack up your stealth attack. So it's an interesting class. If people like it, I recommend looking it up. Hard but interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very interesting thing to watch, for sure. I'm probably gonna unlock Deadeye, see? Like, you convinced me. I'm unlocking it tonight.
Good, it's good.
It's good on you, it's probably not good on me, though. I'm a scrub. I mean, one day I should actually stream, like, Raid League teams trying to carry me, and you will see just how bad it is. But yeah, at the number 1 position, or should I say, ex-aequo for the number 1 position, with a time of 1 minute and 2 seconds, we have Quitical Fail, QF, with what we could call the classic comp here. Very,
1 second faster.
very impressive.
Very tight teams. 1 second faster, and it's a draw again. It's such
That's
a
kind of crazy. I just love this month Raiding League. Like, this is exactly what I want to say from the Raid League. Alright.
Such a hyped, and no one expected Mo to be this like exciting. The times are so close. So, but yeah, I'm glad to see these teams clearly showing their skill in the classes. So they've adapted to the new rotation for Renegade and are able to pull it off to a very high standard, as we can see in these kills. And the beautiful chat cover showing how strong Confusion and Staff Mirage is right now.
I mean, I like it. It is very cool. I like it.
Someone who was just saying about Hybrid versus Condi Soul Beast. I took a look at a few of them, and they're very, very close. So one of the teams ran both a Hybrid and a Condi, but the Condi one took a Spirit because I think it's less of a DPS loss. So it was just, it was an interesting choice of, do we run Hybrid, do we run Condi? And again, it came down to personal preference, which is more important. Because obviously, if you can't play one, you're gonna do bad. But
yeah. This is such an impressive display of skill. Like, I'm really surprised by all of this, and I think it is time for us to congratulate our other number 1s, which are none other than Calamity, CA. I am very saddened by the fact that we did not get the copy pasta in the chat. Oh, it is coming back! Best intergalactic representative of Earth Spacer. Yes! Yes, this is the CA we want to see. This is dope. And you know what else is dope? That's 6 Daredevils. This is
so
massive.
Good.
This is so good. Yo, Murray, you know what? We watch it and then we react. Please, I just want to look at this. I just want to look at it.
It's so beautiful. I doubt you've seen Condi Daredevil yet. It's so insane. Watch the rotation.
Oh, yeah, and we can watch it in 2K. Oh my god.
Let's go.
Oh, yes. Oh, there is some RP at the start. See, that's the real Daredevil gameplay. They're all waiting in the shadow, ambushing the prey, ready to jump from all the sides at once. This is a 180 degrees attack. Oh
so
my
what
god.
they've done here is they've all split up because the Venoms on Thief all overlap each other. So to guarantee that everyone can get precasted Venoms, they split up and make sure that they don't overlap. So they cast their Thieves Guild, place all the Venoms, so then all the Thieves Guild gets the Venoms as well in the precast, and then just go ham. It's such an insanely well done strategy, highly deserved. And according to them, they had some people who hadn't had quite a lot of practice on Daredevil, Condi Daredevil. So I'm pretty sure they could have got
That's
a
what
really
you're
good
saying.
time, yeah.
It could be even. Oh my god, this is so
Beautiful
crazy.
kill anyway. So good. But yeah, because they can all steal and then get detonate plasma. You need no support.
Yeah, one person in the chat was saying they only got 30 minutes of practice. Just how big is this? How big is it? 30 minutes and you place #1 on the Raid League. See guys, all the people who are not sure whether or not they can make it, this is the proof that you can be one of them. One of us. Just do it.
Yeah, it's such a well executed kill. It's a really good strategy, and I really want to see us. I want to force 17 just to give it a go to see if we can actually pull it off, because no one can play Condi Daredevil but in Sarah. So
this is so big.
This
is actually so huge. Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy actually. I'm not even sure.
Really good.
Just look at this Mursaat Overseer recap screen. So many teams are in gold. So many. This,
so good.
Usually what we get is like 2-3 teams in gold. Most of the team are in silver, and then like about a third of the teams are in bronze. Right there we have 1 bronze. We have only 7 silver, and everybody else, the whole 13 other teams, are in goddamn gold. And that is big. That is huge. That is crazy, and I love this.
I'm
Why
so
are
that
people so
mode.
rigged in the chat?
Because 17 is listed as first place.
Oh, okay.
Rigged.
I am gonna point fingers towards the organization of this event. You know, definitely not pointing fingers at myself for not double checking the presentation. I was a little bit busy, and I'm sorry for that. But you know, this is gonna be fixed on the actual leaderboard, so you guys can rest assured.
That is my bad.
That is completely okay. That is
Don't worry, we'll be fixed.
completely okay. See, no problem whatsoever. This is all fine. This is all good. The combined leaderboard for the Season 2 Spring Split round... No, these were the round 1 points. Round 2, actually. No, that was round 2. It's just that it's called round 1. I should have checked that as well.
Well, now that Mursaat shows a different group result, but the final one shows the overall correct score, so don't worry about that. Mursaat will be fixed. Yeah.
Mursaat
pasting is hard.
Counting too hard, lads. Counting too hard. No problem, we fix. We have a team of dedicated engineers ready to give us a solution to the situation. Rest assured, our little engineers are going to be working in the background, or they will get no dinner. Yeah, so jokes aside, that is a very, very impressive season, I would say. More so than a round. Like, the teams have been ready more than ever to give us submissions. We have 21 different teams. That's 210 players participating in the event. That is big. And you know what? You could be the next 10 to take part in the event. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be huge. And we're all gonna love it. With this said and done, I believe it is time for us to talk about the calendar for the next session, and also to talk about a little bit of other stuff. I believe the first thing we should do is thanking our sponsors. So of course, the first sponsors we should talk about are the people who are taking a financial stake in the Raid League. So we wish to extend our thanks to Mr. Mighty Teapot himself and the Hot Stick Initiative for sponsoring us a little bit this time around. Our other thanks will be going towards XVII, which is a guild we have, shouted out a little bit earlier, and who, on top of offering some raid training, is, helping us out with the prize pool. I believe that this is it for the people who are sponsoring us, some, gold, hectos, whatever it may be. It is now time for us to thank our third sponsor, which we usually shout out the most when we get to the season finale, which is going to be in a month from now. And that is Aeronanet. Aeronanet has been sponsoring this initiative, which is the Guild Wars Raid League, and this time around, once again, we have managed to get from them the 24k gems that we'll be sending to the top 3, no, actually top 2, no, top team in each, yeah, it's 3 teams, 1 in each division, gold, silver, bronze. And you know what else we're getting this time around? In exclusivity, I'm going to be revealing it because you guys will want to take part in the next Raid League. For sure, we get community chests for the top 10 players. Yes, community chests. Dope. An outfit of your choice. What more could you want? Exclusive stuff that very few people have. That's what we get. That's what it give you. So yeah, look forward to that. And I guess with this said and done, it is now time to talk about the calendar. Evo, if you would do the honors.
Hey everybody, so mark your calendars for next round. June, the June round is actually going to be similar to this round where we kind of leak into July, but that's fine because Heartstuck is going to be doing their tournament in July. I believe the date was set. Muru, if you're still around, can you confirm it was July 16th or 17th, something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, around that time, 16th, 17th. I don't think it's a. I think they're doing an official announcement soon. Don't quote me.
17th
well,
apparently.
I posted the Reddit post that has the official dates. And
Okay,
it's,
perfect. Well, point being is that we for the month, so we'll have July's round. Then you'll have about a week before the Heartstuck tournament, and then from there on out, we will probably be taking a short break to let people rest for the month of July, for July itself. And then we'll be back in August. Specifically, August we'll probably start with a meme month. We have a couple schedule things going, and we're still gonna be shifting some things around so that we don't run into awkward months because of summer vacation, etc. So, Sam, did you pull the latest slideshow here? Because there should be one more page after this.
All right. Well then, let's move 1 point forward. Actually, I don't have the last slide.
Okay, that is fine then. We'll
All
just
right.
do it.
You know what? I can show it if you send me a quick link on Discord, or if there is a new version on the drive.
It's a new version on the Dropbox if you want to hop over to that one.
All right. I just need to put a waiting screen for the people so that we don't show everybody the Dropbox, because that would be a wee bit awkward. So everybody can enjoy the cleanest of waiting screens, and I need to scroll up. It's the same link, right? You just updated the file.
Correct.
Okay. Well then, direct
So-
download.
So while you guys are while we're waiting for that, quick question for you guys: have you been playing any of the PvE stuff recently? The the Living Story replays?
I believe
No.
they haven't.
No.
Are you well? Are you excited for Gen 3 legendaries and legendary armor coming out in
I really want to. I'm excited for that, and I also do want to do the stories. I've just been no time, new patch and everything, keeping me busy.
That is totally fair.
yeah, we're the ones that got to figure out the builds for the new patch.
Exactly.
So
I'm very
That
busy
is
with
totally
IRL
fair.
stuff, so I haven't played much Guild Wars 2 lately. I need to make videos, so I only play for videos. I'm sorry.
Well, if you're a fan of PvE content, we still have more PvE content for you to do. That is not linked to those achievements even. The Heartstuck group is going to be having a community response party, which is sort of a competitive mode-ish Dragon Response Mission tournament. Compete for 12,000 in-game gold prize pool on the 3rd and 4th of July. That's going to be actually the same time as our streams, I think, or very close.
Actually,
sorry, same date,
Evan,
but not same times.
I have an idea about this. Lynn, who is in the chat right there, is part of the organization team of that event. Would we let him hop onto voice with us so he may talk about it?
Yes, I have no problem with that.
That would be kind of cool.
that.
So, Lynn, can you jump in the general voice chat and we will drag you down to, talk about this event? Hopefully he does come onto voice chat. Unless he meant simply talking in chat about it.
I'm not sure. I'm
Oh,
double
he's here.
checking.
He's here. All right.
Okay, perfect.
Go on. It's all yours.
Hello. Oh, it's all mine. Yeah. First of all, thank you very much for even allowing me to have a chat on this lovely live stream. But yeah, jumping right into it. Yeah, me and Planix for Heartstuck, we are organizing the Heartstuck Community Response Party, which is a DRM tournament. and I can already hear everyone say like, "Oh, DRM's, boring content, blah blah blah." Trust me, there's a lot of optimization there you're gonna want to get into. Yes, it will be organized, or like basically we're having 2 streams, one on the 3rd, one on the 4th of July. I know the 4th of July is also going to be a rating league thing, but we are probably going to be finished by then, so we can definitely host you guys through onto the rating league thing. We'll be having at this point in time, we have around 12,000 gold in-game prize pool. And actually, while we're at it, right, like I was actually going to keep this a little bit silent. We have some extra prizing. I can confirm that for the HCRP, the Hearthstone Community Response Party, will be actually giving out a physical prize for all players that manage to win the entire thing.
Yo. Give us spoilers. Leak.
And I will not show pictures. I mean, Sam, I can leak you something, right?
I mean, you already leaked me. You already leaked me.
Did I?
I know. The other evening you showed me.
Well, I think maybe I did.
Yeah, you did.
Anyways,
I know what it is, and it's oh my god.
You're gonna want to win this thing, right?
You will want to win it. Trust me. Trust me. I have everything I could want in the game, but I don't have everything I could want outside the game. This prize will blow you away. It is crazy.
I think actually this might be the first. I don't know if they actually went through the Mota thing, because there were rumors that there may be like a 3D printed trophy in there. But I think this might actually be the first time that in a community organized tournament there will be a physical prize. Yeah.
We need to clap for that, lads. We need to clap for that. That's very impressive, Lynn.
But very interesting. Yeah, and sorry.
Terms and conditions may apply. No purchase necessary. Please allow for delays due to potential shipping.
Exactly.
No, as always, disclaimers. Always got to give them.
But we'll do our fucking best to get it. Well, I don't know if I can swear here, but we'll do our absolute best to try and get that out there. If I fly out there myself, we'll see.
Yeah.
Terms and conditions apply. Thank you very much for letting me shout it out. Definitely sign up. It may not sound as exciting maybe at the start, but there's definitely there's fun to be had, and we'd love to see you, especially like the try hard guilds, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah. You guys interested in this? Remember to join the Hearthstone initiatives for all of the summer. They're going to do a lot of content. June is already packed with 12-hour streams going on and on and on. So for sure, go watch that. A lot of you guys are also Mela viewers who hosted us right at the start of this stream. This is the kind of power that we want to have throughout the month. So you guys make sure that you follow, go watch the Hearthstone streamers, take part in their content, take part in the community initiatives. We're all here to make Guild Wars 2 a much better place, a much better game for everybody. So be part of it. That's all you should do. Be part of it. And with this said and done, I guess we've gone over everything we should be saying, right? We talked about our future installments. We talked about the community response party. We thanked our sponsors, Zexy, Mighty Teapot on Hardstock, and Aaronanet for once again helping us out with a huge prize pool at the end of the season. I think we're kind of done with that. I think it is now time for us to pass on the flame to another streamer, to someone who will keep you guys entertained all night long.
Sorry, Sam, there's actually one more person that we need to shout out here, and that would be you. I think you've been with us for about over a year, just over a year now, doing these streams. So thank you for giving us a platform to have these broadcasts.
And that's very nice of you. I like this. That's very nice. And I will actually complete your sentence. You started saying and I will say, and I also want to thank the admin team at the Guild Wars 2 Raid League for once again providing us with all of this content, for once again working hours and hours to make sure that everything is set up nicely and properly. I also wish to extend our wonderful thanks to the casting team, Muru and Isa, 2 deliciously amazing voices, taking part in almost every stream to be the most amazing analysts at the analyst desk. I love both of them. I hope the sentiment is shared. If it isn't, I'm gonna be a little bit sad, but that's gonna be completely fine. We love to see them. We love to hear them. They're amazing. Thanks, Muru. Thanks, Isa. Thank to everyone in the ending team. Ever, Linka, Poitoy, Croesus. Everybody is doing an amazing job, and we gotta thank them. So yeah, I guess that's it. We host someone. We move onwards with our lives. Let's go. I was given a name, I believe. There is someone. Yes. There is someone we're looking forward to hosting today. We hope that you guys will give them the most amazing of welcomes. Alright, I see who we're hosting. I just hope I don't fucking butcher their name. Alright, let's go. This should work. This should be working. Yes, this is working. Let's go. We are raiding Nina Monster. You know, they're a slightly smaller streamer, but they've got all of that big energy, that hype. And you know what you guys have? Numbers. The only thing they're missing. So we're gonna bring both of that together. Energy, hype, numbers. Let's go. We're raiding now. I'll see you guys in a month from now.